Hi everyone, welcome to Ed 635, Action Research and Education. And the purpose of this welcome video is just to give you a little bit of an overview of what we're going to be doing in the class this term, what the purpose of the class is. You have the syllabi, it is available on the Moodle shell, so take some time to look over it and send me any questions that you have. Purpose of our course is really to gather a deeper understanding of what the role of action research is in teaching and learning and in education. So one of the things that you may think about is what you're going to be doing for your research capstone project if you are an MS-Ed student in our program. You may take on Ed research as one of the, action research rather, as one of the forms of research methods that you will take as you complete your thesis. So this course is going to help you do that. Of course, we're operating under some strange times and some stressful times for some folks. I know that. So in a typical course, you would have opportunity to gather data and work closely with students or examine other folks in a social setting and gather data that way. But because of social distancing measures that are in place at this moment, we're not able to do that. So our goal is, we're all going to work together. Our goal is to get a deep understanding of what action research is. We're going to do that by exploring its historical aspects. We're going to talk about some of its critiques. We're going to look deeply at its methodology. And your big project is going to be creating a proposal for your thesis. Okay? If you're not completing a thesis or you have a different action research project, we'll work within those parameters as well. Okay, so what is action research? Why do we have a whole class dedicated to it? It's really an important method of inquiry for teachers. Okay, we have a lot of research handed to us. Research is often used to inform us, quote unquote, or even control us as practitioners. So it's really important that we have an understanding of how we can participate in research that is going to have an impact, either most likely positively, on our educational settings and our students. So some things to think about is primarily to think about action research as a process, okay, rather than a product, okay? And the process is one that begins with inquiry, and that inquiry may be about a question or something you want to know more about your own classroom and your own practice, okay? It may be about, how do I get my English language learners to love reading when they're still learning a new language? How do I get them involved in loving reading English as a second language or a new language? ESL is my area, so that's one of the first things I thought about. Or how do I promote a growth mindset in my second grade learners? How do I examine, or how do I promote collaboration among small group members in a project? Something like that. Something that you're observing in your class. It doesn't have to be a problem. It could be something that you want to build on. And then you're going to formulate a question. So we're going to learn all about how to do that really well. It has to be a question that's doable and it has to be beyond a yes and no question. And then you find out about it. You go about a method of systematic research in your classroom, where you're going to collect data either through reflective journals, looking at student work, maybe doing some observation. It's less about quantitative data at this point. So it's not necessarily about surveys or about observational check marks and things like that. It's really about looking at the culture and the interaction and what's going on in your learning space. And then you reflect on those things and you think about what has this action research told you? And then what's different about action research is that you use what you found to formulate a plan for change. And it's change somehow in the society or the culture of your classroom. So it's really a way for teachers and either teachers as individuals or professional groups to collaborate, or a whole school to examine a problem, challenge, or strength, discover data about it, and think about the data, reflect on it, and then make plans and implement change based on the data that you've gathered. So that's an oversimplification of action research, but that's it. I conducted action research for my dissertation. I've supported teachers working in action research. It's not something you just do for a capstone like an MS Ed or a doctoral dissertation. Of course, you may not be formally writing up a 30-page presentation or 80-page or whatever your master's thesis, 100 pages, 300 pages, page document. But you will be collecting data, thinking about it, and making plans for change all through your teaching career. Good teachers do that. So I don't want you to think it's something superfluous. It's part of being a professional. So I know a lot of you may have already done a lot of research before, and I don't assume anything about students. I just know that except that I know that you're smart and brilliant folks that are committed to the work. So I know some of you may have had expertise in this, experience rather, and have developed expertise. Some of you have not. It's okay. I'm here to support you. Last, on a personal note, just want to tell you that I've constructed the modules. This is this course, as I mentioned, is being conducted in some odd times. So number one thing we want to think about is how to communicate and support one another. Okay, so while I still have very high expectations for your engagement in this class, that you're doing a lot of reading, that you're doing a lot of thinking, and that you're progressing towards your goals of understanding what action research is, and creating your own draft of an action research project. I also know that life might not be cooperating for everybody right now, so I'm pretty approachable, not literally. Let's keep 6 feet apart. But I'm certainly on the other side of the computer at this time, so send me an email if you have any questions about anything. I'll be glad to get back to you. Monday through Friday, I don't have much else to do right now, so that's my priority. Students are always my priority, but even more so now. Excited about working with you. I'm excited about this topic, and excited about hearing what you're doing. So, over and out. Oh, wait, before you stop, you should know that I've created the course to be 2 weeks for each module. Okay, so there are opportunities to do some readings, do an activity, and engage in a forum. Okay, I'd like you, since it's 2 weeks, by the end of the Thursday or Friday of the second week of the forum, I'd like you just, if there's something that you need to respond to, make that post. And then you have till Monday of the week that the next forum begins. It's not really that confusing. It just sounds more confusing to respond. Okay? Once you get into the rhythm of it, online courses are pretty straightforward. But, posting on time requires everybody to post on time, because if no one posts, remember that kind of causes a logjam for everybody else who's waiting. Take initiative. If you don't see folks posting, you can complain to me. I will bring it up with folks, but it's okay to, respectfully address each other and remind folks to please post on time as well. So, all right, let me know if you have any questions. Glad to be working with you this term.